Hello Scorpio, welcome to your monthly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the month of April 2023. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I'm providing. All right? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here is the Five of Wands. Let's see where this goes. Let's put that into some context. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. And as I do this, all of these cards are upside down. As I do this, I want to just say that if there's anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments, okay? Now, I don't typically read reversals, okay? So you may be wondering why I'm flipping all the cards around. I don't typically read reversals because I feel like, especially with the Thoth deck, we don't need to, okay? Every card is has a spectrum of meanings depending on where it is in the Dove and Serpent spread, what cards are next to it, which cards are opposite to it, which cards are in a corresponding place on either of the two paths. Okay, so we don't need reversals. But sometimes you'll notice that I do reverse a card. Or if there's one card that comes out reversed just by chance, that might be meaningful. But I don't shuffle my deck, both ways to make them reversed. Not something I do. We're going to do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, and this is the card we're going to save until the very end of the reading. And hopefully that will, tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need at the very end. Now, you will be doing me a favor if you watch this video all the way through to the end. Please turn the notifications on, turn on the little bell icon so you don't miss any other readings. And consider watching your solar, lunar, and your ascending sign readings. Maybe even your Mercury and Venus readings, all right? Really, it'll help us get back in the algorithm. So the first card we have is this Five of Wands. I feel like you've got a lot of creativity in you. I feel like you're someone who is likes to be outgoing. I think you like to, you've just got this, almost this energy, almost like this cheerfulness about you. But I'm just getting like this singing and dancing kind of vibe with you. I don't know if you're a performer. I don't think that you're a performer, honestly. I think that you are. I think in your internal world, right? In your imagination, in your fantasies, when you're alone, you're a performer. You're singing, you're dancing, you're writing poetry, you're an artist, right? In every sense of the word. But I feel like that is something that's kept for yourself. It's kept very private. I don't feel like a lot of people get to see that about you, I don't feel like you're comfortable or confident, really, being that person in front of other people. I don't think it's any one thing. I don't just think you're a secret poet who doesn't let anyone read their poetry, right? I think you do write poetry, but I think you do a lot of other things. I think it's just in your spirit. I think when you're in the car, I think you're belting out the songs. You're hitting all the notes. You're like the world's greatest singer when you're in the car or in the shower, I feel like a lot of people, I feel that's a cliche. A lot of people say that, but I feel like you are actually good at it. I feel like your poetry is probably wonderful, very poignant, very beautiful. I feel like you're an artist like that, right? You're a performer, but you don't want anyone else to see that, right? Maybe you just don't like to draw attention to yourself. So this is something that you kind of do on your own. And maybe you like it that way. It's just for you. It's part of your work, part of your spiritual practice, part of how you express yourself. And it doesn't need to be for anybody else, right? We don't do these things for other people to see. We do these things because they're an expression of who we are and how we feel. I think that's the important part for you. Okay? But I feel like there's something this month that's kind of challenging this a little bit. Or something that is putting more attention on you, kind of unwanted attention. You wish it didn't have to be so, right? I think that there's something going on that is attracting a little bit of attention. Now, looking at this court card in the what should be the recent past, I don't know if this was the recent past or if this is going to be the beginning part of the month. This could be the first 10 days, the middle 10 days, the last 10 days, okay? But anyway, this court card, the Knight of Cups, maybe a Cancer sign person. Maybe the water element here is because this is a new person, right? A new acquaintance, a new someone you're talking to. I feel like you are about to meet this person or you have met this person. I feel like they're part of this new attention that's on you, that you're kind of not really, you don't really want it. What I'm kind of feeling, honestly, because we have more court cards, we have the swords here, we have this water energy, we've got that art or temperance card. I feel as if this is a new person in your life, or it's going to be a new person in your life, and you're having doubts about whether to introduce them to your friends and family, maybe. Maybe here with this Three of Cups, we're kind of skipping around a little bit. The Three of Cups, I'm thinking maybe it has something to do with the holidays that are coming up. I know, Easter is coming up pretty soon, Ramadan, a lot of these kind of spring festivals and spring holidays, right? It could be that you're wanting to bring this person with you to some of these family gatherings, holiday events, but you don't want the attention from your family, You don't want the questions. You don't want the looks. You don't want the giggles. You don't want the attention, right? This is something just for you. This is your experience. This is your maybe new relationship. And you don't want that attention. You don't want the questioning. And, even if the questioning is friendly and supportive, I don't think it always is that way. And I think you're maybe worried that it could really turn into a nightmare. Okay. So what we do see, though, is this Wheel of Fortune right here in the middle of things. This is the unwanted attention. This is kind of the unavoidable thing that during this time in your life, if you are getting involved with this new person, if you've met this new person, the timing of things is just, it's what they are, and there's really no way to avoid this, I think there's always, you can always make a decision, right? You could just maybe not go to the holidays. But it feels like that will create more problems than it would solve, I feel like because of the time period of when you met this person, and maybe there was something strange about the way you met them, right? Maybe you met them online. Not that that's strange, but it might be something different than what your family would expect, or what they would maybe approve of, or it would just invite more questions, okay? So I feel like there was something a little bit strange about the way you met this maybe Cancer person, and that is just asking for more inquiries from your family and friends, okay? But I feel like there's really no way around this. Wheel of Fortune, it's kind of, it is what it is. This is the timing. This is for the best. This is the way it has to be. You could choose not to do it, but I think that would probably create more conflict. We can't go against the Wheel of Fortune, right? You can run the opposite way, but if the wheel's turning and you're running the opposite way, then you're kind of you're not getting anywhere. You're not getting away from it. You're just idling. You're just spinning your wheels, So I feel like this is kind of the inevitable thing that you have to endure, you know. And I feel like there is this concern down beneath the surface. We've got the Eight of Swords. I think you're really concerned about how your family will react. Maybe one particular person. It could be this Queen of Wands over here at the end of the path of the Serpent. Maybe that is the matriarch of the family. Maybe older sister, mom, auntie, grandma. Maybe they will really be the judgmental one, okay? I feel like you're worried. I feel like you every time you think about this and you run it over in your head, it doesn't end well. It ends with conflict. It ends with someone getting mad, someone getting their feelings hurt. It ends maybe with just some hurt feelings and some maybe some offensive words, maybe some embarrassment, etc. Something like that, you know. So I think you keep wondering about it, you thinking, running it over in your head. And I think, again, we're running in place, we're spinning our wheels, we're idling here, worrying about this, when the best course, perhaps, is just to go with the flow, you know, to endure what we have to endure and get it over with. Because I feel like there's a strong connection here with this person. I feel like this, whether or not this is going to be your forever person, or if it's really a serious thing or not, I feel like for whatever reason there's this expectation that you're going to bring them along, right? That maybe it's time to meet your family, or to bring them to this holiday event, or this family gathering. Okay, maybe this is someone that you're starting to get serious with now. You know, I said it was a new person. I feel like there's some kind of new energy here. So it could be that you've just met them, or it could be that this relationship has now become serious. It's newly, exclusive, committed, serious, next level engagement, maybe something like that, right? So there's some newness there in some way. I feel like things aren't going to really be as bad as you're thinking that they are. I feel like you're going to get this unwanted attention. You're going to have to be tactful, and you're going to have to be, kind of strategic in how you answer the questions, how you respond to people, and how you kind of handle the situation. But I feel like you're really going to be okay, I feel like it's not going to be as bad as you think. I think it's going to be bad, but I don't think it'll be as bad. I think it's going to be a middle road, It's not going to be the best time, the most fun, or the most pleasant and enjoyable experience you've ever had, no. But it's not going to be the worst, right? And I think you know that. I think you're kind of hoping for that, you're praying for that, you're just thinking, just let it be okay. It doesn't have to be great. I don't want it to be terrible. Let's let it be okay, With the other air cards here, which we talked about the Eight of Swords, we have this Ace of Swords here too. I feel like you're doing a lot of time, or maybe this is something that you should probably think about doing. Journal more. Keep your journal, keep your diary up to date. Really write these things down, Really express yourself on paper and get your thoughts and feelings out, okay? Because I feel like you're keeping a lot of your thoughts and feelings inside, and they're just you're spinning your wheels. You just keep going over these things and over these feelings, and they need an outlet. So I think we could look at this Ace of Swords as the pen, and start expressing yourself on paper, in terms of a journal or a diary, or just a purging of all of these fears, worries, concerns, all of this stuff that's on your mind. If you don't already do this, of course, I think this is what's indicated for the time being, right? To get all of this out of your system, so to speak. I feel like there is a concern for that matriarch. I feel like that's the older family member, that Queen of Wands up there. I think that's the one that you're kind of nervous about. You know, they maybe are the ones that have a little bit of this Nine of Swords action about them. They have a tendency to maybe ask too many questions, to ask questions in such a way that are maybe a little bit offensive, right? They may really not know when to kind of dial it back and go easy. But I think it's done out of love. It's because they love you. They're concerned for you. They care about you. They want what's best for you. So they're going to really grill that person, really give them the third degree, you know. And that's part of the unpleasantness, you know. That's part of what you kind of have to endure. And I think what you've been going through in your mind with this Eight of Swords is a lot of questions and answers. You're thinking, okay, well, what are they going to ask? How are they going to ask it? And what am I going to say? What's going to be the response? How am I going to kind of diffuse that bomb, you know, how am I going to maybe deflect some of these questions? How am I going to deal with this situation? You know, what are my responses going to be? Because I feel like you're still kind of this energy, Princess of Cups, right? Princess of Cups. I feel like when we get to our big family gatherings, we still feel like the kid, you know? Especially when we have this towering figure above us who is still looms very large. It has an intense presence in our lives, and especially in these situations where you still feel like a kid, a child, you know? And that's a difficult dynamic to really get over, right? Really to work through that too. One, to get other people to see us as adults, right? Even, it doesn't matter how old we are. In that situation, I think, it may be our perception or it may be the reality that people just see us as the little kid still, you know? And so this creates a difficult dynamic, and it creates almost a submissive kind of energy about you. That is something that you're trying to figure out how you're going to deal with. How are you going to be assertive, be, you know, an equal with this person, and yet still be respectful, not be offensive in return, right? Not be too aggressive. It's a very difficult dynamic. Very difficult dynamic. And I don't know that our elders, our older family members are ever going to see us as anything other than children. You know, especially when we're talking about grandparents or great-grandparents. They're always going to see us as kids, you know. I think that's fairly common. I think that's kind of ubiquitous. And so there's not really a solution to that dynamic. That's the dynamic that you have to exist and operate within. You know. So until this event actually takes place, and down here we have that Three of Cups, I do think that this is a family celebration. I think that I think that you maybe have a large family. I think that that your family really loves to celebrate, loves to get together. Maybe there is a little bit of, you know, razzing each other a bit. And that's kind of what you're not looking forward to. And it seems like it's just kind of the way of things. But you're concerned because of this new person. Okay, because you have this new thing that's going to attract a lot of attention, a lot of questions. And you maybe hoping, or what you typically do is just kind of blend in. right? You don't want to really be distinguished from everybody else. You're here, and it's just nothing really, you know, nothing to put you as the center of attention. You don't want the limelight on you, you know? So I feel like what we're doing in the meantime is spinning our wheels a little bit, like I said, and I think the point here, especially with the Ace of Swords, is to try to sit tight, okay? Try to do what you can through journaling, through, you know, processing all of these worries and concerns and this whole issue. Process everything in such a way that you have some clarity. You can calm your mind down. Try not to be so agitated, you know, by this sense of like of impending doom, about this inevitable problem that we're going to experience. This, as the day gets closer and closer, you know, we just feel it's just it's looming over us, and the anxiety builds and builds and builds. We have to try to calm that down, you know. So it's kind of like a recommendation from this Wheel of Fortune card to just kind of live your life as you normally do. Just go with the flow of things, right? If this is still a couple weeks away, there's no sense worrying about it now. Just do what you would normally do. Don't do anything out of the ordinary, right? Don't do anything different. Maybe start journaling more. You know, that's something you can do. If there is a problem, if this is a conflict, if this is going to be an anxiety-causing experience and a difficult experience for you, it's something that's going to happen in the future. It's still in the future, you know. By worrying about it now, I think that you're losing strength, right? And I think that's the purpose here of the Five of Wands, is that you're a very strong person. But if you are spending all of that energy now in the preliminary stages of this, worrying about it, etc., then on the day when it comes, you're going to already be defeated. Already going to be defeated. You know? So it's like the day hasn't come for you to step out into the world and meet this challenge, right? The day's not come for that yet. So don't let this challenge into your home, into your inner world now, right? It's too soon. It's, you know, you're allowing it into your house now, and you're going to have to battle for now until the event happens, and then after the event, you know. So you're not going out to meet it. Don't let it come in to your home right now, right? It's still out there. It's still in the future. I think the situation is going to unfold in this inevitable way. I think that if you consolidate your strength now and you do these techniques, again, like the journaling or whatever, you know, this could be something else. It doesn't have to be journaling. But something to give you this calmness of mind, this clarity, this balanced thought, right? To get you out of this Eight of Swords worry mode. I think that's going to be the key to kind of to keep you calm and balanced until this day arrives. Okay, let's look at the mystery card. Right. We had a lot of court cards already here today. We had one, we had two, we had three. Maybe we got another court card here, because we were talking a little bit about the Princess of Cups and how you kind of you feel submissive almost, or inferior to this Queen of Wands, this maybe the matriarch, maybe mom, grandma, great-grandma, you know, an auntie. But I feel like having this kind of passive, submissive energy is not really what you're working toward. I feel like this is your fear. This is what you're worried about. You don't want to be just this Princess of Cups, because you've got all this strength, all this fire energy in you. Right? You're ready to kind of meet this challenge. You don't want to. It sounds you'd rather stay home. But you're strong enough to do it. So I'm wondering if we're going to take this Princess of Cups and maybe turn this into some fire. Turn this into some fire. Okay? I'll tell you why I think this is going to be the Princess of Wands. Because I don't feel like we can change the dynamic. I don't feel like we can change this dynamic of, this matriarch person always seeing you as the child, right? But you don't have to be the inferior. Do you know what I mean? You can be equal to them, even though you are the child and they are what we're calling the matriarch. You can still be more equal. You can still match their energy. You can still be strong and meet them on an even kind of level. A level playing field. That's why I think this is going to be the Princess of Wands. Okay, you're still the child. There's still that kind of, that matriarch and that child dynamic, but it's no longer the fire and the water. There's no more of that disconnect. There's no more of that inferiority. It's going to be a match. It's going to be an even match. And not just in the terms of the battling, but I think by having this assertive fiery energy, you're going to meet them with their fire energy, and there's going to be harmony and resonance. If it's just fire and water, there's going to be conflict. It's just not going to work. Fire and water just make each other a little bit more miserable. They bring out kind of the worst qualities. So if we have fire and then we have some more fire, well, it creates a nice light. And I think there's harmony and resonance there. So I'm thinking Princess of Wands. So this is, I think, a good indication of how it's going to go. It's still going to be, it's still going to be like a matriarch and a child, right? There's still going to be that gap. But at least the energy is going to be more harmonious and more resonating. And I feel like you're standing up for yourself. You're being assertive, but in a respectful way, in a way that honors the generation gap that we have, right? But not in a way that is just passive and submissive and emotional and weak and, you know what I mean, with the water. You're turning that to fire, using your inner strength that we have with this Five of Wands and matching that light, that heat, that fire energy, right? I think this is a really wonderful confirmation. I think this, in some ways, should give you an idea of how to move forward with this. When the day comes, again, it's still in the future, right? So stay calm, do what you need to do right now and for the days coming. When this gathering, this event happens, you'll be prepared. You'll be prepared for it, okay? We're going to do an extended. If you want to stick around, please click on the link that's right up here, and then you can become a member to the channel. As a member, you get access to all of the extended readings for all of the monthlies and the weekly readings for all signs. Okay. This was your monthly reading, Scorpio, for April 2023 here on Dove and Serpent Tarot.